Greetings. Welcome to another host clip. So I just finished watching episode 5, Just to Get a Rep. The nurse from Daredevil, I forget her name, and I can't believe you even forget the actress's name for that. She's talks about, she's from Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Anyways, interesting scene that I think is kind of funny. Made a swear jar. Is that when Luke was digging around in the rubble looking for stuff at his place in the restaurant, he actually pulls out the swear jar and rescues it in a sense while he was looking for other items. And then we go back to Cotton, and Cotton is in financial trouble. He's had $7 million of his total funds totally lost into Fort Knox things from episode 3? And he needs to come up with a plan. So what he does, he tells all his thugs to go down and shake down everybody around to get half their money to, raise some money by doing the protection. And you get a really cool shakedown montage. People get their stuff taken, like personal items and all that stuff. It's pretty sad. And then all the people start coming up and it's like, Luke, Mofo jacked my stuff. Timmy O'Toole jacked my stuff, and all that stuff. And all that stuff. And all that. So he goes out, and I guess there is a payback montage of him beating down all the thugs and getting everybody's stuff back, and from tips to family jewelry to cash. It's Luke Cage. He's just getting people back, and all this time I'm thinking I must have missed something quick in the beginning or something. Like, why is Luke Cage all dressed up? Why is he all dressed up? And eventually do find out. But after all the shakedowns, he confronts Cotton and about the problem, and pretty well says, you need to watch yourself. Like, I'm boss now. I'm like the badass. And I don't think Cotton's really taking him seriously. Clearly not at all. It just kind of seems like he's laughable, even after blowing him up with a rocket launcher. Cotton's just not taking it seriously. But because of that, he's going to try to get some prototype weaponry that, it breaks through armor-piercing, bulletproof vests and all that stuff. And it says alien technology, so I guess it must be from the Avengers incident. That where they getting this technology from. But it is the Marvel Universe, because they always talk about men with mighty magic hammers and stuff like that. It's pretty hilarious how they keep making fun of referencing to the Avengers, and mostly Thor, it seems like, which is like pretty kind of hilarious. But going back to the Cottonmouth's trying to get the prototype weaponry, it seems that Diamondback is slowly trying to subtly suck in Cottonmouth into being in debt to Diamondback. So Cotton doesn't want to be affronted by Diamondback for money or to help make this problem go away. So whoever this Diamondback is, well, I have a pretty good idea. It's just which of the female versions is going to show up. Is pretty badass, and it's going to be interesting to see more about that, because I'm actually getting a little bit more into it. But we go back to the cops, and Detective Misty is being approached by 2 cops by Eternal Affairs about what's his name, Detective Scarf, and that he might be corrupt because of certain logins and disappearing the disappearance of Chico, actually, which is kind of raising red flags. But don't worry, Scarf isn't in really any danger, because you also learn out that Internal Affairs is on the payroll of Cottonmouth, and I'm going to maybe assume Diamondback, I guess. It's going to be really interesting to find out more what's going on here, because it just when you're introduced that Internal Affairs is corrupt, it goes on to the guy in Evidence Locker. I thought it was going to go in a corrupt cop montage, which would have been hilarious. I like my montages and talking about them. Montages. I am weird. So we get back to why Luke Cage is dressed up, because there's Pop's memorial service at the church. Everybody in the neighborhood shows up. That's anybody. You're gonna have people coming up there speaking sad words and all that stuff, but Cottonmouth is actually there too, and if anybody wants to say any words, and he gets his hands up before Luke does, and he gets up there and says a few respectable pieces about let's keep Harlem, this is how Pop would have wanted, blah blah blah, morals, which he doesn't uphold. And so he gets, amen, and some hand clapping towards his kind words. But then Luke gets up there, and Luke kind of talks about the same things, except it's more closer to the heart. It's like how Pops is a great guy for the neighborhood. He was an outstanding citizen. He wanted the swear jar around so his children would see that there would be men that would look truly respectable. And you gotta look at Pops and how great of an influence, because you gotta look at it. People are not respectable, especially in crappier neighborhoods. I'm only in the northeast corner. I'm kind of like on a nice little area. No, I'm actually in a really nice area. But you go one block over, yeah, there's no vigilante superheroes. But yeah, respectability. So every time there's some cussing, like if I say fuck, shit, cock, hard humper. Did I say motherfucker yet? I wanted to talk a little bit more about the episode, about the flow of it. Usually I do like to say much about it. And I really kind of felt this episode was just kind of, meh. Kind of maybe a little bit losing my interest, but it's still kind of developing character. But maybe I should be beyond that. It is episode 5, like almost halfway through this. So I think this episode was actually one of the weaker ones. It just didn't have much oomph. I really took notice. I really don't like Cottonmouth. He is a dick, and he needs to like explode or something. But yeah. How is this episode called? Just to get a rep. Slower episode, it's in the middle, so it's still going to be, if it goes to the storytelling formula that I think they might be following, that they're just going to keep building from this point on to a pretty amazing point. So I'm looking forward to it. No supervillains yet, just a bunch of superheroes and talk on the streets about this. Superheroes of the Avengers and other people. I am Jay, leader of ChannelJ.tv. We're not having no memorial for Pops. They had the memorial in this episode. We're out.